All right, guys, give me just 1 second. Okay, I am going to stall us starting for just a second here because it was requiring a password and I didn't want that to happen. So just make sure it's working. Ah. Okay, I think it's starting. All right, so most of you know that I am technologically challenged, but I do a really good job of making it appear like I am not technologically challenged. So I'm gonna get this. My internet is also technologically challenged. So give me just a second here. I'm just trying to share it into my Facebook group, but if it won't, then it just won't. Like everybody's gonna have to zoom on in. Zoom on in. Where did the Zoom go? My husband says it's not the computer, it's the fact that I have 37 apps running at once. Could be. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna share this into my team page real quick, you guys, and then we will start. I'm excited. We can talk about that. Oh, wait, it's working. I love the internet. Oh, no, it's not working. I don't love the internet. All right, it's going. It's going. Do you guys struggle with the internet and stuff like that too? Like, does it stop you? It used to. Like, I used to message Todd at work, like, I'm going to throw this computer right out the window. I've gotten better to deal with to build this business. And it's a trying, guys. I'm sorry. Our live singing in the background is being provided to you tonight by I just need, Lord help me. Okay, come on, computer. There we go. Mute. And one last try to get it in my team page, and we're just going for it. They're kind of spoiled. They know I usually share it in there. So welcome to tonight. I wasn't sure initially about doing a Friday night Zoom. I thought, no, you know what? People are going to be doing things. And then I thought, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe we're just going to go ahead and do Friday night. Friday Night Lights was in my head for some reason. So Friday Night Fights, and we're going to fight tonight for our businesses. I think it's really easy to get kind of towards the end of the year. And then we have to like make ourselves jump back in. So now that I think it's all working correctly, let's just get started. I am going to open up the chat. So if you guys are chatting, then where's that? There it is. All right, chat is open. Okay, so if you want to participate in chat, whoa, I lost it. If you want to participate in chat, that's absolutely wonderful. We can participate in chat. It is still not in my team page. You guys, there are times where it's going to seem like everything's fighting against you. You just have to push through. So let's get started. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, February 7th. And the internet's still not working. We're just going to pretend it is. I wanted to do this tonight because I feel like this is the time of year where we have to have our mind right and we have to put ourselves back in check so that we're ready for conference, right? Because conference is coming, and that's something that you don't wait for conference. You have to be building now so that when you get to conference and they launch something, because they always do launch something, whether it's a new product or a new promo or a new set, they're gonna do something as we come out of there. So as we come out of there, we want to make sure that we're ready to like rock that out and make that happen. I cannot mute Oh, I can't mute this one. Okay, hopefully we don't have any problems. It's still, like, we are so into this. Friday night. Go live. 9 minutes later. Oops. 9 minutes later. There we go. Go live. And then shrink it down. Okay, hopefully that works. 9 minutes later, it's actually in the team page. So here's the deal. My computer is old and it says it's working. So I always have to get on here super early because otherwise it like I have to get on the computer at least 10 minutes before I do a Zoom, because it takes that long for Zoom and the internet and Facebook to all like become one, and it took 20 minutes tonight. So all right, let's do this. So we're going into conference. Conference is the first weekend in May. We have got all of February, all of March, all of April. So we have time to do a 90-day run before we get to conference. And I think what's happening for a lot of us is that that fourth quarter was tough last year, this past year. It just was. 2019 fourth quarter was tough. And I don't know why, but here's what I do know. If you've been in this business for 4 to 5 years, chances are that you've gone through a lot of your warm market, and 9 times out of 10, it's scary. It's flippin' scary to try to get into that cold market, and we feel like one of two things is happening. We're either afraid that they're they're going to get a message from us and it's going to be spam alert, spam alert, spam alert. Like we feel like we're spamming people when we're not. We might be, right? We might be, but we don't want to be spamming people. Or the other thing that can happen is that we're just too chicken to reach out, or we don't know how to reach out. So one of the things that I have picked up that's really working really well for me is I do my birthday messages every single day, and I don't try to sell anybody anything in a birthday message. And I know that there's a lot of like messages floating around where it's like, hey, happy birthday, I'd love to celebrate you. Can I give you a birthday cake bar? And that's something I tried, but I didn't like it. It felt disingenuous to me to reach out to someone, happy birthday, let me give you some of my crap, is how it felt. So I stopped that. I don't do that anymore. I don't try to give people a trial on their birthday. I know that I recently was on a morning work with me Zoom, and the way that they had it set up, she was giving you the message to like use while they were working. And she did offer people a trial for their birthday, but then she would get them set up with an account, and then she would then get them on to watch a video, and it just didn't feel right to me. Like, yeah, you can have this free thing, but now you have to do all these other things. I just felt like I would feel it felt icky to me. So here's what I do on my birthday messages. First thing I do every morning, sometimes before I even get out of bed, I go on Facebook on my phone. And if you don't know how to get to your birthdays now, because they put them in a random weird spot, if you just hit your like 3 little dots at the bottom right corner on an iPhone, I think it's the other side, and then your magnifying glass. Yeah. I didn't hit the dog. I said birthdays. I said nothing about hitting dogs. You type in birthday. I didn't, I promise. I won't. I said birthday. I did not say hit the dog. Whose side are you on? Your side. Okay, good. So we're going to type in birthdays up at the top, and it's going to pull up all the birthdays for the day. From Facebook, right inside Facebook. And then I go to those people's messenger, and all I say is happiest of birthdays to you, with the little party hat blowing the party horn. That's all I do. Happiest of birthdays to you. As soon as they say thank you, then I say back to them, Do you have any fun plans? Birthdays are my favorite. Do you have any fun plans for today? And they can share with me if they do or they don't. Sometimes they don't. And sometimes they give me this big old story about why they don't. And that gives me the opportunity to write their name down. I know they need community. I know they need to be loved on. I know that's something that's lacking in their life. I take notes. I write that stuff down. And then if they're going to have a great, wonderful day and their dinner with their husband afterwards, or a movie or whatever it may be, or maybe sometimes they tell me they did already on the weekend, celebrate it some kind of way, or they're going to, that just lets me in. And then I know the next day to go look at their page and see if they posted anything where I can go comment and interact on their birthday, right? So that's easy. I can have my 5 done a lot of times before I even have my brain all the way on, because Facebook's telling me whose birthday it is. Those 5 reach outs we do every day are not Thrive messages. It's initiating conversation messages. Thrive will get there in the conversation as long as you keep that conversation going. I ask more questions now than I do anything else. The next thing I do is I go right into Messenger, or not Messenger, Memories. I do go to Messenger, but I go into Memories and I look at my posts, and like sometimes it'll be somebody that maybe hit 4K and hit a $4,000 bonus a few years ago. And since then they've just stopped. And I will comment on that. Comment right on that post, and everybody gets talking on there again. Everybody in there is going to get a notification. And then I can message that person and just say, hey, you know, how are you? You popped up in my thing today. I don't lie. If I wasn't thinking about them, then I don't say that I was. But a lot of times I'll be thinking about someone, and then they pop up in my memories that it's about that time that they hit a bonus or whatever. And it's connected because we're in that time of year. And I'll just say, you know, I was thinking about this or that, or the cookout we had, or whatever, when we did this and that. You got to figure that out. You know, what's that connection? But if these are people that were or are in your downline, you've done something with them. So respark conversation, and just resparking that conversation, that's planting a seed, especially if they were in this business with you, right? Because just talking to you, they know you're a thriver. Talking to you is going to open up their brain cells for Thrive again, or the business side of it again. I'm not saying that we want to be saving people either. Like I've said it for a lot of years, a lot more years than Lavelle's even been around. Like it's not your job to raise the dead. You can poke the dead and see if they're interested, but it's Jesus's job to raise the dead, not yours. So don't spend a ton of time there. It's okay to say, you know, hey, I was thinking of you and I want you to know I'm still here for you if you ever need a friend. That's fine. But you don't want to constantly be messaging people and begging them to come back. One of the messages I like to send is, hey, I have a ton of people relaunching their business right now. I don't know if that's something you're interested in or not, but I do have some specials opened up if you are. Either way, let me know. Either way, let me know. If not, no big deal. We have to stop thinking about, people tell us no. I had 10 people tell me no this morning before I got out of bed. My Thrive wasn't even all the way kicked in yet. And I was like, ugh. Never doing follow-ups this early in the morning again. All these people woke up grumpy on Friday. So now I gotta like fix that. But I'll go back to them. People's lives change all the time, every 6 months. And this was taught to me years ago. I worked with a business coach one-on-one, and one of the things that she had me set up was that every 6 months I poked people. And what I did at that time, I don't do it this way anymore, but at the time I had like a send out cards type of postables maybe, I don't know, something. And it automatically was set up. So on their birthday, they got a birthday card from me. And then on their half birthday, they got a happy unbirthday, very merry unbirthday, Alice in Wonderland card from me. I know it's not your birthday, but we're halfway there, and I wanted to let you know I was thinking of you. A lot can change in 6 months, so if anything's changed for you that I can help you with, please let me know, blah, blah, blah. So you've got to get yourself on some type of system where you're checking in with people and talking to people, and every 6 months is not follow-up. It's not, but it's better than nothing, right? So you have got to take a deep breath. And I've heard, wait a second. I have heard 100 times this week from 100 different people at 5 different ranks in this company. My team's not doing anything. Okay, let's take a deep breath and start working this then like you're the only person on your team. We cannot depend on our teams to grow this business for us. I learned very quickly the people that got me to a rank were not going to keep me there, let alone get me to the next one. I have had to consistently, constantly either be building my own business or helping someone build theirs in order for myself to grow. And I do, like I'll do a 90-day run and then I'm like, okay, let's help these people get fully launched. And then I do another run. And it's not, you might not have to do that, but that's what kind of works for me. And it doesn't mean that I'm not building my own business. It just means that I'm not like all in, not sleeping, doing it all the time. I kind of dance mine around preschool and when daddy's home and when I can stay up late or I can get up super early because that's what works best for me. I'm the least stressed out if I can just sit down and do what I need to do. So stop listening to the people in the cheap seats. We've got to think like okay, so people will say, you know, you got to stay away from negative people, garbage in, garbage out. Start thinking about what you're consuming. Like when I was a little girl, I listened to some rap music, not a lot, but some, right? Tupac and Biggie were on the car radios, the cassettes and CDs and such. And I don't listen to that now. It's not what I listen to. But I say that to say that I was standing outside when my son pulled up and he had rap music on in his vehicle. And when he got out of the car, I said, why are you listening to that? It's trash. And he's like, oh, it's a good song. I'm like, no, it's not. The beat was cool, but listen to the words. Like if anybody ever talked to me the way that guy's singing about her, they wouldn't be here anymore. And you're allowing that in your system, and then that's what's going to come out of you, like garbage in, garbage out. And I believe that. Do I watch some things on TV that might be questionable? Like I'm watching you. I am. And sometimes I'm rooting for the bad guy. It's interesting. It's interesting. But that's something that we're watching. We do that hunty-killer game. That's fun for us. And I think it's okay. But I have lots of positive flowing in me all day long. I had a really just off day. I was not feeling positive at all. I grabbed my AirPods and stuck one in my ear, and I had YouTube videos playing in my ear while I did other things all day long until I got my head right. And then I started to message people because I know if I'm not feeling it, it's not going to be effective. And especially because, the typed word, it's not really doing much, right? We've got to get to voice. And if people can't hear or feel that passion and that excitement inside of you, it's not going to convey. Like, think about it this way. If you're having a crappy day and everybody's underfoot and the dog's barking, or maybe the dog just peed on the carpet again, and you're like, it started my Thrive experience. I really didn't feel anything day 1. I didn't feel anything day 3. Day 4 is when, that's when it was. It was day 4. Like everything, the veil lifted and high full color. Yep. That was my Thrive experience. And I knew that I was never going to go a day without it again. Anybody want to sign up? No, because I sound like I'm trying to read something that's moving, right? But if I told you instead of that way, if I was calm and I was excited at the same time, right? So stay excited, slow down. Oh my goodness. I'll never forget when I started my experience. Day 1, I didn't feel a thing. On day 3, I didn't feel a thing. I remember day 4, my husband, who had been feeling his since day 1, he got up and left for work. And as he was leaving, I'm drinking my lifestyle mix saying, you better hope I feel something today. And 20 minutes later, I did. And it was like everything came from black and white and fuzzy to high def full color. And I could see for the first time in 12 weeks since Mama had her surgeries, that mom was down and this house needed some help. And by the end of that day, my mom and I had my whole entire house completely cleaned. All the laundry was done. It was all put away, and I even paired the socks. Now, isn't that a little bit more exciting to listen to? And that it comes across different based on what's going on up here. It took me a lot of years to even get to the point where I could tune out the fact that my husband and my child are playing 10 foot away, maybe less, and I'm totally focused on what I'm doing right now. That took so much for me to learn, but it's something I had to learn. It's something I had to be able to do to compartmentalize my brain and make it do what I needed it to do when I needed to do it. The people in the cheap seats are the people who are always negative. And it's not just the, oh, you're still doing that thing you do. It's not just that, you guys. Sometimes it's people in Lavelle. They'll reach out to you. And a lot of times it's your team. Just saying. They're going to message you and they're going to say, I'm still struggling. Well, are you struggling, or are you just not doing what you know you need to be doing to get where you want to go? Because sometimes it's a struggle to do the work. But if you're not doing the work, you're never going to get there. It's not going to happen. No magical promoter is just going to fall into your downline while you're asleep one night and go 200K over the next 12 weeks or so and just make everything all better. You know, we have to create those connections. We have to be willing to put ourselves out there a little bit so that we give people the opportunity to get to know us. And I think of it this way now. When I enroll someone, whether it's to be my customer or to be my promoter, I'm creating a partnership with that person. I want to know a little bit about them before I make that kind of a commitment personally. Anybody have anybody on their downline that every time their phone rings and it's them, you're like, ugh. Hello?
You know what happens?
It's worth it to take the time to build a relationship and find out if you're a good fit for each other. And it doesn't mean that everybody on your team has to be your best friend. That's never going to happen. It doesn't mean that your upline people have to be your best friends. Like, that's not reality. But you can talk to someone enough to know that they're the type of person that you wouldn't mind hanging out with. And therefore, they're the type of person you could actually build this business with. I love knowing that the people that I have on my team are people that I would love to sit down and have dinner with. Not, ooh, you're going to see my team again, right? You want this to be fun. So start meeting people and creating. You have to create conversation in order to build that relationship. And the best way to create conversation is with questions. And so, anybody ever feel like creepy-ish when they message someone for the first time? Anybody? I'm going to check and see if this ever hit my group. It didn't. That's lame. That's all right, though. Okay. So here's what kind of makes it easier for me. I choose my people over the weekend, like Friday, on follow-up Friday, as I'm going through, I'm sending messages, et cetera, from the week and the week before. I'm thinking about, okay, who really stood out to me this week from those birthday messages? And I pull out my little notebook. My 5-subject notebook is actually a 3-subject notebook now that's just sectioned out. So I go to my names from the week and I go back through and I look at their page a little bit more and I decide, who do I think really has a really good chance at this business? Oh, now I lost my notes. That was dingy. Okay, is that it? Found it. That was easy. I flip back through. I pick my VIPs. I pull out my little teeny tiny notebook because we go, right? We're busy on the weekends. So I write down the names of about 5 people that I know I want to invite to the next Opportunity Live or team call. And I interact all weekend. And I know that what we see on Facebook isn't always what really went down, right? Like they show you the family picture and then they say, What people didn't see was mom screaming and crying and begging her family to please just give her one good picture, right? So they post the glory. But if you message the mom and say, oh my gosh, family pictures, we finally did it. Yeah.
Were you done with this? Can you play with me, Dad?
Sure. Okay. I love you. Muchas. I love you. I'll be out in a minute, okay? So there's backstory, okay? There's backstory to the stuff that we see on Facebook. And if we interact over the weekend, then on Monday, we can shoot them a message, and I'm going to say girl. I don't send hey girl messages, but I'm going to say girl because I'm going to assume I'm messaging a mom. I would say their name, though. You know, Stephanie's looking at me. Hey, Steph, how was your weekend? I saw your pictures from Family Photo Day, or I saw you had the grand giggle. And she's going to say, oh, my gosh, it was the longest weekend ever, blah, 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 blah. We had fun, and I finally got my picture, but, right? I had to go through this and this and this and da-da-da-da-da. And if you just read it slow or listen slow, you'll hear what they need. And you don't have to offer it right then. Like if they're venting, it might not be the best time to say, oh my gosh, I can help you with that. Have you been looking at my page? And sometimes I say that, but it depends on how that conversation is going. Sometimes I know they're too stressed out to have that conversation, and we don't have to yet because it's Monday, right? It's only Monday. So Monday we start the conversation. Tuesday we keep it going. Wednesday we keep it going. Thursday morning, I'm going to message them and say, hey, Steph, I was just thinking, I haven't even told you what I do. I'm having an event tonight. I'd love for you to be one of my VIP guests. Would you mind just checking it out? Or would you like to just check it out? Not even telling her what the product is. I'm just inviting her to be my VIP. She can watch the event with her own eyeballs and listen with her own ears. And then after the event, I'm going to shoot her a message and say, what stood out to you the most? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say weight loss, energy, or money. When they tell me which one of those things stood out the most, then I can talk about just that one thing instead of, you know, what does Thrive do? Well, it does everything. What do you need it to do? That's going to come across wrong. When somebody says, hey, I saw your Thrive post, I'm kind of interested in that, I'm going to say to them, well, what do you know about it so far? Before I blab your ear off for an hour, what do you know about it so far? Well, I saw that there's some weight loss. Well, whatever they say they saw is what they're interested in. It's what caught their attention. They've probably seen 1,000 times the extra energy, or vice versa. I saw that there was better energy with it. Do you think it would work for me? Well, I know I don't need to talk about weight loss yet because all she wants is energy. So if I know it's energy, then I'm going to say to them, oh my gosh, it saved my butt. Like when I started Thriving, I had a newborn, a 16-year-old, and an 18-year-old. One of them graduated while the newborn was in my arms. One of them was playing travel soccer. Oh, did I mention I had a C-section and this kid still doesn't like to sleep? Yeah, definitely gave me the energy I needed to push through. That's all they need to know. That's it. That's it. And then we can move forward with questions from there. Okay? So stop making it hard. Stop oversharing. Stop talking too much and start listening a little bit more. But we've got to fight right now. It's February. January's over. If you're not seeing what you want to see, you've got to change that right now. And the way you're going to change that is by digging deep and asking yourself, why are you still here? I know why you're still here. You've got big dreams and you've got big goals for your family, but people tell you no, and people quit. People quit. It's just what they do. You guys, I signed 30-some promoters my first.
Can I say hi?
Yeah, but you got to let me work.
Hi.
Okay? They can't hi back because they're pictures, okay? I signed, oh, Steph's waving at you. Tell her hi.
Hi.
She's so sweet. Okay, go play with Daddy and I'll be right back. He's like waving at all the pictures going, nobody's waving back to me. Go on, Mommy will be right there, okay? Love you. 37 promoters I signed in my first 6 weeks in this business. There are 2 that are still here. 2. And I'm not sad about it. I understand people give up on themselves, right? People give up all the time, but I'm not giving up because my people are worth it. Now, knowing that, like that many people left me, instead of that, allowing that to pull me down, like I worked so hard to sign 37 people and all I have left are 2. I don't look at it that way. Here's how I look at it instead. I worked really hard to find those 37 people, and some of them were not a good fit for this business. But they brought me, like the one person on my team who quit left me with 5 people on her top level that are now mine. They're mine now. All that commission compresses up to me. So that's the power of one. She may have left, but I have 5 people that I can tap into and help them grow their business. They'll never count for me as like a personal Q&A person, but they're my people now. So instead of focusing on the negative piece of it, I'm like, okay, I have 5 new people that I have the opportunity to give my knowledge to and help them grow their business. And I'm really, really starting to focus on what words I use when I talk about my business. I almost said I have 5 people I have to help. That's not how it is. I have 5 people I get to help. If they want my help, that's great. Not everybody's going to want to. Some people are going to want to go bang their head on the wall, do it their own way, try to figure it all out, and that's fine. Keep inviting them to your team calls. Keep inviting them to your Zooms where you talk about the easier ways to do things, right? We can't make anybody do anything in a business like this because we're all in business for ourselves. I run my own business my own kind of way. And I know that some of the people on my team do it their own kind of way. And that's fine. We're not all designed to like be robots. Everybody has their own personality. You'll hear people that say, you know, I like to meet people in the real world and then pull them onto Facebook. Okay, cool. I do that too. But I work my business on Facebook. I do. And I will work my business when I leave the house all 3 days out of the week that I'm gone around the same exact people that I'm around every time I leave the house, right? We go to the preschool and we go to speech and we go to the grocery store. Sometimes we go to McDonald's.
Why is she that way?
Lindsay?
Yeah.
What?
Lindsay's just pretty like that. That's how her picture is. Go play with Dad. Let me finish. Go on, you were doing so good. He sees your picture. Why is she that way? Oh, I love it. All pretty in her ponytail. So, you know, when the last time Jack and I were at McDonald's, well, 2 times ago, I met a mom and we talked and she said, "Are you on Facebook?" And I was like, yes. She just recruited herself. Like she put herself in my lap to be recruited, right? So we have since met up so the kids could play. And that's great. And she's watching my Facebook, and I know she's watching my Facebook because she mentioned one of my posts the next time I saw her. But realistically, for me, Jack's class has 11 kids, right? And I'm married to one of the parents and out of those 11. So there's 10 more sets of parents. One of them's already in. 2 of them talk to me a lot. And those 2 that talk to me a lot, one of them is already doing some type of a network marketing business. So I'm giving her advice on how to build the business she's in. And if it all works out for her, that's awesome. But if it doesn't and she's interested in what I have to offer, she's not going to forget that I helped her for free when I didn't make any money on her and I didn't have to. Go play with your dad. Take your dog with you too. Go on. So for me, I have to work on Facebook because it's, believe it or not, this is easier for me than trying to leave the house on purpose every single day. The only thing I went outside for today in the evening was to shovel the driveway and play, right? So that's how I'm doing it. But I know that in order to do that, I need to make it a little easier. Now, here's the other thing I'm going to tell you. There's a lot of advice going on about Facebook, and I'm going to tell you right now, you're posting too much. Can you believe I just said that? Anybody? One good post every day or less. I put up a post on Thursday that was very thought out and long. And my comment, I didn't flex Friday last week because my Thursday post was still getting likes and comments and messages. I had no reason to post again. I was in my stories all day Friday, all day Saturday. Sunday evening, that post started to die down. Monday morning, I put up another one. Right now, stories are hot, and people are lazy. I'm just gonna say it. It is what it is. People are lazy. If they can just sit and flip through the posts, yeah. And Steph, you'll notice. Okay, so when I stopped, I was overposting, and I was getting like 13 to 25 comments or like reactions, I should say, on my posts. And when I slowed it down and I started to do more in my stories and only one, and sometimes I do two, and I think one day I did 3 even, but it was like a lot of personal. We were having a lot of fun or something. I don't know. I can't remember, but you know, for me, my people aren't up in the feed. They're not scrolling the feed. They're spending time in Messenger and on stories. And Messenger, like, think about it. You have to open Messenger to post a story. The other thing about stories, it's so much easier to start a conversation, right? So if I pull my phone out and I go into my Facebook Messenger, Steph, I'm going to pick on you because you're the closest one. So see how it's blue? No, you can't see it. Okay, well, anyway, Steph's face is blue. So there's a blue ring. Steph has a blue halo. It takes me right to her stories if I touch her face, right? So everything is figure outable. Heart. Okay, so I just reacted. Self-care is how you take your power back. I could heart that, or I could say, it's too late, it's gone. Self-care is exactly how I took my power back. What's your favorite form of self-care, Steph? Now I'm in a deep conversation, and she started it, not me. Because I got in the story, and I got in her post, her story actually. She put her heart out there a little bit, so I jumped in and pooped it back. Okay, so stories is where we got to really focus, and you can overpost all you want in stories. There's 24 hours in the day. You can put 24 stories up and nobody'd be mad about it. Okay, but minimally you got to do one in the morning and one in the afternoon. And I haven't put one up yet. I'm now making up words. I haven't put one up for the evening yet. Sometimes I'm like desperate to find something to put up too. And I'm like, oh, be cute, little person and little dog. So I can put a picture of you on my story. I need something to post. And I don't have to overthink that. Stories are easy. You shouldn't have to explain your story either. People should be able to look at the picture and kind of get a feel for what's going on. So if I post a picture of my dog, I shouldn't have to say, look at her sitting so anxiously waiting for me to throw the Frisbee. If I have to explain that much, I've gone too far. If I just have the phone, the Frisbee, and the dog, I don't have to say anything else, right? The whole story's there. So my ratio for Thrive to Transformation versus Life and quotes in stories. So here's the thing with stories. I can do a transformation story that's 3 slides long. So if I do one of those, if it's 3 or 4 slides long, I'm going to do it later in my day, 9 a.m.-ish, so that it's up till 9 a.m. the next day, so I can catch my afternoon, my late night, and my earliest morning people. And then I'm going to do life, and maybe one more Thrive post at night. Then the next morning, I'm going to do like motivation. But you can have your Motivation Monday, Transformation Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday. All that can be going on in your stories, and you can do video in your stories. You can do it in 15-second clips, or you can record a very short video and just upload it with Unfold. I think now that I said Unfold, it might not be Unfold. I will get back to you on that. But the stories, the cool thing, it's like, okay, especially with Instagram, your front page is like a magazine all about you. And then your stories, it's like your own Netflix reality TV. That's where you get to be totally you. You want people to get to know you. You want people to see your personality. Let them see you for who you are, right? Because that's who they're going to enroll with. I don't always look like this, as you all know, right? A lot of times my hair's in a pile on top of my head. I'm probably in the hoodie that I wore the night before because it was what was on the floor when the baby started crying. Crying out loud. But I got to go live, so I get it done. Today was different. Today was wonderful and fabulous. And I got to do my whole face. I haven't even Flex Friday. So now Flex Friday, here's the thing with Flex Friday. Don't just take your picture and throw it up on Facebook and say, Happy Friday with you and your DFT. Don't waste the post. Make it bigger, okay? Mine is I have to put another one on to take my Flex Friday picture because I have a shoulder that doesn't want to move very much. So mine's like up and behind under my hair. But if I have my black label on or white label and I go do my Flex picture and I say, grab this one today because I knew that even though we had all the inches of snow, that we were going to have to leave the house by 9:30 to go to speech, that we were going to run to the grocery store and get stuff to make our dinner for the night, that we were going to run and go do this and that we were going to shovel the driveway. We were going to do this Zoom tonight, fight for our dreams Zoom tonight. How fun was that? And then not lose our ish, right? Why are you wearing the DFT you're wearing today? Is it your everyday DFT? Or is it your, oh man, I need some extra help today DFT? Are you trying to lose some weight right now? Take people on your journey. Invite them to come with you and invite them to be, they become a part of our story. If we just tell them what we're going to go do and then we give them a checkpoint, they start to cheer us on. They start to feel like they're part of the story. You guys, there's this barrel racer that I'm watching, and I feel like I'm helping her train her horses right now, and I've never seen her in real life. But she's taking me on her journey. She's making me want to get back on my own. And we become a part of it. Well, if I'm one of your friends, and you take me on this journey with you, and I already feel like I'm on the journey with you, at some point I'm going to say, wait, can I get in? I want to go with you. And that's how we get people to recruit themselves. But we have to be okay with opening up ourselves and taking the armor off and being a little vulnerable so that they can get all the way in. They've got to be able to get inside of us a little bit in order for us to be able to like be there for them when they're ready. She always wants to go potty when I'm working. We've got to close the knowing and the doing gap. So when I say that, the social media changes. And I just heard somebody say, you've got to post at least 3 posts a day. Oh, wait, it was me. I just did it on a plan with me. And then I started to tweak and play and tweak and play. I'm like, okay, my engagement's going way up now. And the other thing is, I don't know who sees my post. I only know the people who had enough cojones to react to it or comment on it. But in stories, I can see, okay? So this was last night, the dog. Let me see if I get all up on my desk here. work on yourself forever, like whether it's convenient for others or not. This one said, do you have a side hustle that saves you money on taxes? And I pointed right at everybody. That's why I did my hair. Yes or no? Can I show you how? Or not yet, not no. Yes, show me now. And I don't like money was their second option, because we can take deductions that other people can't, right? Am I going to give them tax advice? No, I'm going to tell them to go buy Courtney Epps' book. But before they do that, here, watch her video and then come back and I'll help you sign up. Now you have to actually make an attempt to earn money in order to take the deductions, and I got you. We'll sit down and do it together. This was today's random person without kids. I heard boys are easier than girls. Parents of every boy hold my coffee. I posted a coffee post on purpose. Okay. So at any given moment, I can see the 82 people who saw my post from my dog last night. And I can go, okay, thriver, 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 thriver. Ooh, she's not a thriver. Neither is she. Thriver, 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 not a thriver, not a thriver, not a thriver, thriver, not a thriver, not a thriver, not a thriver, not a thriver. 3 weeks ago, it was all thrivers. You want to know what I did? I didn't even delete thrivers yet. True story. I said yet because I am going to. Not all of you. Don't panic. I downloaded the Friend Filter Pro Chrome. Thank you for ringing the bell and not peeing on the carpet. Sometimes she does. I knew she wanted to go out. So I downloaded the Friend Filter Pro. You don't have to pay for it, okay? Log into it, go into the settings, change the settings to go back like 6 months, a lot of comments, a lot, like scroll it all up and let it run a whole big scan of your whole Facebook. It will pull your people into active and inactive. Isn't that crazy? Oh, so what I did is I put my married name. I did a search for my married name, Ritticher, and I like whitelisted all those people. And then I did Stevens, and I whitelisted all those people. And then I did my mom's maiden name, which is it's Melchioric, Mephistatic Melchioric. Whitelisted them. So I basically went through and like whitelisted my family. And then I went into the inactive and I got rid of people. And I'm seeing people's posts now that I haven't seen in years unless I went and intentionally found them. So it's making it easier for me to actually enjoy my Facebook feed. And I love thrivers. Don't take it personally. I don't need to see your posts all day, every day. When I get on Facebook to like work, I want to see everybody else's stuff. I want to see how I can help people that aren't on my team already. Like if you're on my team already, or, you know, we're just cool, message me and tell me what you need, right? So it's insane. I deleted the ones who I know have unfollowed me through this journey. I don't see them. I have no idea what's going on in our lives with the kids. Yeah, and you know what? Here's the deal. At least unfollow, or I mean, what I've been doing is messaging people and just saying, hey, everybody is talking about this. Mari's talked about it. Chastity's talking about it. I think Amber's been talking about it. I've been talking about it. All you have to do is message people and say, hey, I was just on this training, and for the 4th time this week, I have been told I need to make room for new people on my Facebook, and you do too. I'm going to follow you and then unfriend you. Follow me back. Okay, so you can stay connected. You're still connected in Messenger, which means you're still going to see stories, right? So it's not like you're not like banishing people. You're just unfriending them so you can make some more room. And I'll tell you what, I had 5,000 Facebook friends, and I started going through them before I moved here. And we've been here, it'll be 2 years in May. And I just finally got down to 3,000. And that Friend Filter Pro made it so much easier. And I have been, what you can do is like, okay, so I went to like my W's, XYZ's, that page, the very end. I don't know why I do that. Because when we do our ABC game, we always start at the beginning, right? ABC, nobody says Z, Y, X, Q, R, P, L, M, N, O, however that works. So I went to the end first. And what I would do is if the name looked familiar, I would pop it open and look and see. And like, one of them said, I do bad things on a first date. Like, I just deleted that. I think I blocked that person, to be honest. Like, if that's your Facebook profile picture, like, we don't need to be friends. Just saying. I don't need to know what you do on your first date. Mean mommy, leave the doggy out in the snow. So, clean up your Facebook. Like, get your life together. Clean up your Facebook. Clean up your Instagram. Who are you following on Instagram that you don't need to be following? Instagram is not a place for you to be connecting to a bunch of thrivers. It's just not. The hashtags that I'm using for working on Instagram right now the most is hashtag #IMomSoHard. It's something I've said, like when Jack was little and we would have this crazy day and I wanted to cry, but I couldn't cry because the kids were all home. I would say, "I mom so hard." And if we just had a killer day and Todd was like, "Whoa, I mom so hard," right? So I'm finding moms who mom so hard. Why? Well, because they're probably full of life. Right? They might need some more energy and they might have a couple of pounds to lose, but they probably have a pretty good outlook on life because that's a fairly positive kind of a hashtag. No energy left is when I quit following because I didn't want to be around people who were draining, right? So I followed that whole hashtag, the whole entire hashtag. But when I go on Instagram, I intentionally go look it up. And I look at the picture, I look at the caption that goes with the picture, and I like it. And I comment with something uplifting and encouraging. So some of them have been people on a weight loss journey. Some of it, like one mom had her husband and 3 out of 4 of her kids down with the flu, and she was terrified her and the baby were next. So I just gave her some love, right? So be a good friend. And people will want to be a friend back to you. And then eventually you'll end up in direct messages. I love Instagram because you can just comment. Like, it's very conversational right on the front page. You don't have to get into Messenger. You want to get your stories going. You want to make sure that people can figure out what it is you do, mostly up in your stories up there. And just go be nice to people. And it doesn't take very long. The first time I did like an Instagram blitz, like, you know how we do our Facebook work group, work with me time, power hour. That's the word I'm looking for. Like, all right, I'm going to go on Instagram. I'm going to start with 15 minutes. So I set a timer for 15 minutes and I'm like, comment. I probably did 30 of them. And I looked at my thing. I'm like, oh, I still have 9 minutes to go. Okay, back down. It might not have been 9 minutes. I think it might have been a 25-minute one. I don't know. But I got really far really fast. And then the next morning, I had all these new likes and all these new comments. And so it's very easy to get on Instagram and get involved as long as you're consistent. And I do think on Instagram that you need to be posting something at least once or twice a week on your front feed grid, on your grid. But up in your stories, just like Facebook, all day long. The GIFs are more interesting and more fun. The stickers are better. The fonts are better. You can change the colors on your fonts. It's just a neat place to be. So if you have said the word stuck or struggling, I'm going to tell you right now, today we close the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it, and we're not going to say those words anymore. I am growing my business in a big way. I am empowering people to take control of their lives, right? Like, what do you do? What do you do? I help women fire their boss, raise their kids, and take back their lives. Okay? Do I tell people that? No, but that's my job title. That's what I do. So every day I have to get up and I have to do that. Instagram was hard for me, really hard, but I'm starting to enjoy it. And I don't know if it was because I'm a really old millennial. Like, how old are millennials? 30? Like, I'm 42. The millennials are our next generation of leaders, big leaders in this business. That's where they are. If we don't start paying attention on Instagram, we're going to be enrolling our grandparents before too long on Facebook. Like, my kids are on Facebook. They don't ever post on Facebook. They're on Snapchat and Instagram, and they're probably on Twitter too. They blocked me there a long time ago because I commented on something I shouldn't have, and they caught me, both of them. So my sisters are there, though. They're being followed, just not by me. But our next generation of big leaders are definitely spending more time on Instagram than they are on Facebook. I just learned today, I don't know how to do it yet, but you can create an event page. Wait, let me rephrase that. I'm about to create an event page on my Instagram account where I will host events for my team on Instagram via IGTV. That's going to be our thing, okay? And it's going to be there, and it's going to be easier for them to find, recycle, and reuse those events, because that's all the page is going to be for, is our team's IG Thrive events. Think about how much bigger you can make your business if you can make it easy for people to find you and what you do on Instagram. So I want you to think about, think about your 5 things, okay? What are 5 things that make you you? If you don't know what those 5 things are, message people who you're close to and say to them, can you do me a favor and answer a question for me? And they'll say yes or no. And if they say yes, just say, when you think of me, what comes to mind? Like, I knit, so for me, people are like, oh, you're usually knitting something if you're waiting around. I do this business. I've had people say that I'm helpful. I'm like, okay, well, how do I make helpful one of my things? And then I realize that's offering help, right? So where can I offer help? Where can I offer advice? What can I offer advice or help on, right? So, is it cooking? Do you like to cook? Do you hate to cook? Like, what's your thing? What makes you you? Do you like tacos? A lot. Do you eat them every week? What is it that you can talk about and never tire of it? For me, it's obviously this business, because we're an hour in on a Friday night, right? So what makes you you? Post about those things, put them on your grid, but make sure your grid is 90% pictures of you. If you want to share your view or what you see, that goes up in your stories. Get real up there. Let people know who you are. We're going to put some of this stuff into play, but it's time for us to just dive in fearlessly and build those relationships. I started to say it earlier, and I got my little helper came back. What happens a lot is that, we start to work with this group of people, and they say no, and some of them say yes. And so we're like, okay, I'm following up. I'm building my team. I'm following up. I'm building my team. I'm following up. I'm building my team. And then 4 or 5 years later, like I said, I signed up 37. I still have 2. From that original group. Okay, well, that's done. I'm following up. I'm checking in. I'm following up. I'm checking in. Okay, all these people have said no to me 37 times, but I'm going to keep following up. And that's where we get frustrated. But if we add the other bin, I'm building this relationship, I'm following up, I'm building my team, I'm building this new relationship, I'm following up with people I was following up with for the last 2 years, I'm helping my current team, I'm building this new team. We have to make sure we're constantly, consistently meeting new people. It's our job to sift and sort through people and help them make the decision of whether they would like to be a customer or a promoter in this business or not. That's it. No emotional attachment to the outcome. If they're not into it right now, that's great. Are they somebody that could possibly be into it one day? Okay, write them down. Are they just a rotten apple? And every time you talk to them, they're nasty? Okay, throw it away, right? You can keep them in your life, but don't put them on your follow-up list. Like, don't intentionally bang your head against the wall. If you know they're never, ever going to get to that point, Don't talk to them about Thrive. Talk to them about something else. Okay? We've got to start meeting new people. What's your thing? What makes you you? What do you like to do? Get in groups or get on. Why did my email just pop up? That's bizarre. My computer's working without my help now. Instagram is cool because I can use hashtags, right? So I just told you guys I knit. And I called myself a millennial in the same sentence. How funny is that? So I'm going to go on Instagram, which is over here. And I'm going to hashtag, oh, it's a baby. I like babies, but I can't just follow people with babies because that's weird. Knit. Knit. K-N-I-T. T-I-N-G. Tags. Knitting addict, knitting inspiration, knitting pattern, knitting love, knitting inspire, knitting is love. There are a gajillion people knitting on Instagram. Okay? Knitters of Instagram. Let me pop on that. So, if you're not a knitter, none of this means anything to you. But other people are knitting and they're enjoying it and they're having fun and they're making cute things. So I can get on this one and say, oh my goodness, that is so neat, or that is so cool. All I can do is knit and purl, but I'm starting. I can get myself talking to people who do the same thing I do. Enjoy the same hobby I enjoy. And when I say, I stayed up and knitted till 3 a.m. to finish these socks I started for my husband, and they say, how are you alive? I'm like, oh girl, I take Thrive every day. What did you work on yesterday? Drop the seed and get back to the conversation. And they're going to go, wait, you take what? Okay, so that is my challenge to you, is to close the gap between knowing and doing. Just do it. You've got 90 days-ish to get to conference. And once conference is done, you'll have new information, new fire, and something new. I don't know if it's going to be a product launch. I don't know if it's going to be a promotion. I know they always have our backs. And if you even just spent all your time building new relationships right now and staying consistent with your posting, and you slacked a little bit on your follow-ups, you'd still be in a better position to launch than if all you're doing right now is following up. So that is it. We're ready to fight. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't let anybody derail you. And if you have a crappy week, forgive yourself and get back in the game. Okay? That's it. Have a good night. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.